Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time, and I'm here for 5 more unexpected things or less common things people may think about on things that you might want to consider stocking up on. Now keep in mind, this is beyond food and water type supplies, but also know that I have a playlist on essentials that I've been breaking up into categories, and I have another one I'm going to be shooting soon. One would be baking essentials, so that would be things like your grains, your sugar, your salt, all that kind of stuff. Another one is medical essentials, and a few other things that you might want to look into. So I'll be linking to that full playlist in the description box down below. And some of the things I mentioned are already mentioned in some of my previous videos, such as the arts and crafts preparedness as well. However, I thought it would be fun to put together lists like this, or just some short lists of just some things you may not have thought about yet. So one of those being elastics. So somebody did bring this up in my last video, and what I have right here, all this, I actually used to have a bunch more, but I used quite a bit of it up. Well, this is all the elastic pieces saved from the fitted sheet. So whenever I buy either used or new sheet sets for using to make my skirts, I take the elastic out of the fitted sheet before I cut the whole thing up and save it, because in a lot of cases, especially on the brand new ones, there's some really good elastic in there that can be used for many things. It can be used for repairing. It can be used for maybe making something new, like in the case of maybe you need to make yourself some underwear. You could take some old t-shirts and some elastic and do that. In this case, I've been using them to make jar covers out of material scraps and the elastic scraps. So I use these for my vinegar making, or for just making things look cute when I want to do a picture or whatever, or even for gifting to people. I also have other elastic as well. I just grabbed this because this used to be a lot bigger, but I go through a lot of elastics, especially when I'm making the pantaloons that I wear under my skirts. I like a nice loose fitting elastic waist, so it sits kind of low down on my hips. And so I use that. I've been using a lot of that to make those. So elastics of various kinds. I mean, there's so many things you can do with elastics of all widths. And I say stick with some, like I did here, either pulling it out of things that you don't need it in anymore, or maybe even just stocking up on a big roll of something like this. Now, the other thing, and this is actually a more common thing, but again, if it's somebody's kind of new to some of this, they might not think of this kind of stuff. So right here, I have some duct tape and some super glue. I think it's nice that you can get super glue in smaller containers like this now too, because a lot of times you don't use it up fast enough and then it turns hard. And then duct tape and also electrical tape. These are things that we keep a lot of this kind of stuff on hand. Duct tape and electrical tape are my two favorites, because whatever duct tape doesn't work well with, electrical tape will, and vice versa. And then you'll have your lubricants. I put these in the same category because, as we know, if you haven't heard the old adage, if it sticks and it shouldn't, WD-40. If it doesn't stick and it should, duct tape. But this, of course, these two things are not the end all in the different types of lubricants and adhesives that you should keep on hand. These are just a few examples. Like Patrick has all kinds of lubricants he keeps in his shop for the many different projects he has going on here, but even things like coconut oil, which I mentioned in my last video for soap making and so on, skincare. That is something that can also be used to lubricate drawers that want to stick and so on. You don't always have to use WD-40. I like this in particular for using in my sewing machine for a quick clean and to quickly lubricate it. All right, the next thing on the list, again, is actually should be fairly common, but it might be something you might not think to stock up on extras of. And this is something we've done for a long time, and that would be footwear. Especially that kind of footwear you're going to wear the most, and you most likely wear out of. So for me, I really like my Kizik shoes. I wear those on the uncarpeted areas of our house. Inside the house, I have certain ones that stay outside for doing yard work. Those are the ones that are either leather or suede, things that will be a little more waterproof, something I can just slip my feet into and go, because a lot of times I have my hands full of stuff. So I have extras of those on hand. When they went on sale a year ago, I grabbed a couple more pairs, and I'm glad that I did, because my indoor pair that I wore for 2 years straight, I wore those things clear down to where I was getting holes in the bottom, but I wore them a lot. I wore the heck out of those things. But also like work boots or snow boots or anything like that that you're going to need for that kind of stuff. If you found a pair, you found a brand, a style that you like best and you wear the most, muck boots, whatever they are you wear for your farming, gardening, and so on, get extra pairs. Maybe watch for them to go on sale, or even look for some similar types of things secondhand. Like I have a pair of waterproof hiking boots that I just love. I had bought them brand new at our local store. Well, about a year, 2 years, I don't know how long later, I found the same exact pair, because I wear kids' shoes, that had hardly been worn at a garage sale. I bought those for like $1. So I have a backup pair. And then I keep a pair of those in one of the rigs, so that there's this pair of boots. If I'm not wearing something like that already, then I'll have that. If I need it and we're stranded somewhere, I'll have those boots to slip on. And then some things to go along with that would be shoelaces, boot laces, even some shoe goo to do some repair work on your boots and your shoes if you get holes in them. It's not going to last forever, but it can be helpful to kind of stretch out the life. So another thing, again, a common thing most people have, but maybe not as common to think of stocking up extras of, would be all types of towels and washcloths or dishcloths. Right here are some brand new dishcloths I bought years ago and put it away in storage, so I would have some on hand. They were on sale at our local store a while back, and so I grabbed a couple of packages of these, so when the ones I have wear out, if I can't get any more, I've got some extras on hand. And then here are just some hand towels, but also bath towels, any kind of towels, dish rags, or wash rags. Stock up on extras when you see them go on sale, so that you have them on hand for their many uses. Now, I've talked a lot about using t-shirt rags. We take old t-shirts and cut them up, and those are great for a whole lot of things. And I even have a video just on their many uses. However, there are things you may need terry cloth for. You could also consider just buying terry cloth by the bolt and then making your own towels, dishcloths, washcloths, and so on. And then the last thing, number 5 on the list, is making sure that you have plenty of things on hand for entertainment in the event of either power outages or whatever may happen. So that would be some books, and this is going to be for the whole family. So don't just look at books for yourself, but books for the kids, the grandkids, board games, and so on. So I brought just a few of the things that we have. A lot of this is old. Some of this was found at garage sales, but a common popular game, Apples to Apples. Here's a couple of books I bought secondhand for the kids, which is just fun and interesting to look at, but also educational. That's a T-Rex. This one was my son's. I bought for him, my youngest son, when he was a boy. So it's the same kind of book. I have about 4 of those on hand. 3 of them bought secondhand. I think we bought this at Costco a good number of years ago. It has chess, checkers, I think backgammon, dominoes, and so on. And then Balderdash, a garage sale find. Beyond Balderdash, that's just a few of the board games we keep on hand. And so some of your favorite games to play. A lot of times you can find this kind of stuff like this one at garage sales. I just do a double check to make sure all the parts and pieces are there, or enough of it is there that the game can still be usable. So like Balderdash, you got to have paper for that, well, you can use scrap paper. You don't have to use their specific paper, and just make your own thing. But and we have Pictionary, but instead of like drawing on paper, we use a whiteboard and have people stand up and draw the picture on a whiteboard. And that's a really fun game that we like to play. And that's another old one that we've had for many, many years. So it's really important to have things on hand that you might not think of having stuff like that on hand, especially in this world where everything is done digitally. All the video games, all the whatever's all digitally, and people usually playing the stuff by themselves. But look for things that you can do together as a family or with your friends that can be a good source of entertainment, drawing a community together, and just building relationships. This is part of being prepared for whatever life may throw your way. So I hope to keep doing more videos like this, just some random, unexpected, uncommon things that people might not think about. Even if you already have them on hand, just might want to consider getting a little bit more of that put up just in case. And please share some of your ideas in the comments down below. And don't forget to check out the videos I'll be linking to in the description box as well. And thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.